Welcome to the second episode of restoring the Velocitas. So today I'm going to be working on the hull, trying to restore it as good as possible. It's a challenging piece of work. I've never really done this before. So, well, let's just see if it works and what comes out. Enjoy. Alright, I am about to do some surgery on the ship. Going to attempt to take out this strip of wood. I'm still doubting a little bit where to start. I'm gonna use this thingy on my multi-tool. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, so I am wearing headgear just to be certain. It's nasty stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna start somewhere over here and then see what happens. There we go. Hi, welcome to the second episode of restoring the Velocitas. So today I'm going to be working on the hull, trying to restore it as good as possible. It's a challenging piece of work. I've never really done this before. So, well, let's just see if it works and what comes out. Enjoy. Yeah, so I did a little surgery just to see what I'm up against, and I'm not sure. It seems like it's double planked because the wood is very thick. It could also be just thick wood. Also, the strips over here are pretty well glued together in the vertical direction, so they don't come apart that easily. So I'm just considering my options. It's time for a coffee. Yep, so I experiment a little bit. It does appear to be single planked, but it's like 4 millimeters thick wood. That explains why I could sand the wood with this thing with grit 40 on it. It's no problem whatsoever. So I have plenty of space. So the easiest thing to do is just to cover up these holes with some type of filler. But yeah, that's the easy way. I wonder if I would be able to... What would happen if I would take out this entire strip and replace it with something else? Just wondering if I can do it in a nice way. Now the wood itself is pretty soft, so it's pretty easy to sand down a little bit. Now my biggest worry is that if I if I use this thingy to cut out a large part of the strip, then there will be a lot of jagged edges. And I'll put wood back in, but you'll see that there will be a lot of gaps, and I'll end up filling all of them. So all the filling that I will do is probably uglier than filling up these bits. So it's a matter of, can I work accurately enough? I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it for a day, I think, or for a night. More on it later. So, as you see, I just finished cutting out the damaged strip. So I still have to make all these cuts a little bit cleaner so that I can put new wood in. Probably going to put an extra support behind this just to give it a little bit more strength, I guess. So here at the tip, did my best to keep this line sharp. Not sure if it's gonna work, but it's one big try out. I wonder if this hole is big enough. I have the idea that maybe this strip of wood, it's not so wide. I think this hole should be bigger. But on the other hand, you can also just clean it up and fill it up. So yeah, you can also see from a distance, like this. So the curvature of the ship sort of hides it, but towards the front, that hole really dips to the bottom. So all the strips of wood were really forced into place. They are not at all supposed to do that. And it's no wonder that the wood started cracking. It's really been forced into place. So I'm gonna fix it now, but I won't be surprised if at some point in the future it will break again. But it's okay. I just was curious whether I can get this back into shape somehow. Let's see if let's see if I can do that. Probably I can. Alright, so I think it's time for some filing right now. Let's go. So I have cleaned up things a little bit. First I added a bit of wood here to form a support for the strips that are going in. I also elevated these a little bit because these strips are 4 millimeters thick, and I want to fill up the hole with probably 3 or 2 millimeters thick wood. So I need some extra height. So I did that everywhere. Also cleaned up things a bit, and well, you can see here that there's a bit of a dip here. That didn't go too well. I used here we are, the chisel. Worked pretty well for most of the things. So yeah, still have to do that one, I forgot. So yeah, as to filling it up, there are a few options. So first there's this wood. It's the thickest that I have, so this was designed to go in like this. But so if I start filling up the hole like this, you can see here that I will have to, let's say, stop it somewhere over here and then fill in the rest on the top with sharp patterns. So it will give a very ugly pattern compared to the straight lines of the rest of the ship. So I decided to fill everything up with, let me just pick something, this for instance, with these thinner strips of wood. They're actually square, so now I have the flexibility to bend them in this direction if necessary, or in this direction if necessary. So I can still fill up this hole with straight lines without really causing any stress in the wood, I think. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's the prettiest. So yeah, I think it's time to get to work. I did some more work on the ship. Oh yeah, I was gonna call her Velocitas, I think. Let's use it. So I got this big hole in the ship and it's filled up now with small battens of wood. They weren't long enough to cover the entire distance, so I did it in phases. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Still have to sand it down, of course, but yeah, it's not bad. I'm not sure really how beautiful it will be when it's finished, but it's good enough. It's part of the experiment. I also started filling in some of these cracks. This one is still loose, but I still have to cut it down a little bit, but still you can fill up these cracks quite well. Let me turn the ship around. So here's a part that I still have to sand down, but you can see that I filled up this big crack with a piece of wood. So this is a really satisfying job to do. It's just a matter of making these patterns thinner and thinner and just pushing it down the hole until you reach the end. As long as the split here is uniform in width, then you will do fine. So I did the same thing over there. Still have to glue this one in place as well. But still, it's a nice bit of progress like that. Also, this one is loose by now, so I think I'm gonna attach it differently. I'm gonna look at some other pictures and get some inspiration. But I don't really like the look of it now, so I think I'm gonna change that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna glue these last few bits in place, remove some of the excess wood, and then sand the remainder of the ship. Yeah, it's progressing nicely this way. So the hull is well, close to ready for painting, I think. All the holes have been nicely filled up here as well, here as well, and sanded down. There are some impurities here that I fixed, so I still have to sand that down. There are a few more of those places, but all in all, it's ready for painting, I think. Oh yeah, there's just one thing I still have to fix. I think that, let me show you. I'm not sure if I can show it this way, but it doesn't really show that well. But this one is not, this bit is not completely straight. So neither is this one, by the way. So I'm gonna straighten them out. Also, later I'm going to reattach it a little bit like this, I think, so with a gap in between, because that, I think I like it better that way. It looks like it's a movable part, so the fact that the thickness of this doesn't really match the thickness of the keel doesn't really matter in that case, or at least it's less visible. So I like that. So yeah, I'm not sure about in which order I'm going to do things, because also I want to repaint some of these huts, and maybe I even want to take out these brass battens. I think these come off pretty easily, or at least they're also easy to remake, so and perhaps I'll polish them a bit. Maybe also paint these wooden things. I'm not sure yet. I really am in doubt what to do there. Also, this deck seems to be one solid piece, so all the patterns are fake. You can see it on the grain of the wood. See it crosses right over the edges of the patterns, so they're not patterns at all. So yeah, I'm probably going to leave this as is. I tried cleaning it a little bit more, but yeah, it didn't become any better, I think. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. It's not that bad. I kind of like the slightly rusty look. That's okay. But yeah, I was talking about the order of things. I don't know what I'm gonna do when, because it's kind of easy to, when I'm working on this, to maybe have this part unfinished, so that I can bump it around a little bit if it happens by accident. But I can also try to to paint this and then make a base and then put it in, and then glue this when it's stable in its base. I don't know yet, but it's kind of nice, in terms of progress, to finish this part before starting the next part, because otherwise I'm working on too many things at the same time, and I don't like it. We lost several of the brass patterns here. I think I still have them. But yeah, so I don't know, I think I'm just gonna move on and see what I feel like. Well, that's it for episode number 2. Thanks again for watching, and please feel free to subscribe or like or share, whatever you want to do. Well, see you in the next episode. Thanks.